It seems like just yesterday that I woke up to that same old annoying clatter of an alarm. Okay, well, it doesn't really seem like yesterday. 6 years ago is a long time, but you get the idea. Begrudgingly rolling over, I took my anger out on my snooze button as I smacked it as hard as I could. Anything to shut up that horrible sound which tore me ruthlessly from my bed each morning. And then it hit me. Today is my first day of high school. Wonderful, I thought, as I rolled onto my back and began imagining all the terrible things my next 4 years would surely have in store for me. As I let my mind wander around all the horrifying ways high school would indefinitely try to kill me, my thoughts were shattered by a voice in the darkness.
Scotty! 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 Wake up! It's your first day of high school. You've still got to get dressed and eat breakfast and pack your backpack and make your lunch. Oh, and take pictures before you leave.
Thanks for reminding me, Mom, I thought. Apathetically, I threw off my warm blanket and stumbled to the floor, blinding myself when I flipped the light switch. Oh yeah, I remembered. I go to a Catholic school, and I have not the slightest idea how to tie a tie. After a quick lesson from my father and a fair amount of mockery from my older, fashion-savvy brother, my tie was hung around my neck like a noose, and it was picture time.
Oh, stand over by the tulips. They match your tie. Or maybe the daffodils are better. Hun, do you think you should stand by the tulips, the daffodils, or just somewhere easy, like in front of the hostas? Said my dad. Why don't we just take a couple in front of each plant?
Feeling more like a plant model, whatever that is, than a high school student, I was anxious to get going and remarked that if I had to take any more pictures, I was going to drop out of high school and pursue gardening full-time. For some odd reason, this upset my parents, who then plopped me in the car and drove me to school, where the real disaster would surely begin. About halfway to school, something profound struck me. Oh wait, half the school can drive their own cars, and here I am, being babied, and dropped off at the front door by my parents. Just when I thought I couldn't possibly dread school anymore, I remember that I had been seen being kissed by my parents while exiting their car. What could be more uncool? And then more uncool happened.
Okay, let's get your first day of high school picture.
As a group of cute, snickering girls passed, I turned bright red and determined it was time to bid farewell to my parents.
I love you, honey. We'll pick you up right here at 3 o'clock. Have a wonderful day.
Kill him today, Tiger. Make your daddy proud.
Having experienced the worst humility of my earthly existence, I took a deep breath, stared ahead, and began marching into the building which would be my prison for the next 4 years. As I swung open the front doors, I was overcome with the smell of teenagers who were forced to wear hot, restrictive clothing in an unair-conditioned building. As I proceeded down the hall, I felt like an ant under a microscope. While I'm sure that no one there even cared who I was, it felt as if I was the center of attention. Walking down what seemed like the longest hallway in the world, I suddenly realized I was walking down the wrong hallway entirely, and wandered into junior territory. Fairly certain that they would hunt me down as a pack, I booked it out of there and hastily found my own hallway. First was homeroom. Having located room 107, I popped inside, found my desk with my name on it, and took my seat. As I settled in and raised my head to look around, my eyes met the scariest man I had ever seen in my life. What I saw before me was what appeared to be a biker cowboy WWE wrestler. All that I knew for sure was that he was wearing snakeskin boots and had a handlebar mustache. My name is Mr. Curry. You will respect my authority. Don't anger me and I might still anger you. See these boots? I do not mess around, roared the motorcycle-riding cowboy wrestler. Turning around to pass a general rules sheet, I locked eyes with the girl sitting behind me. Well, she certainly is good-looking, I thought to myself. Maybe this whole high school thing won't be so bad anyways. As I proceeded to pass the papers to her, she said, "Hi, you're the cutest guy I've ever seen. How would you like to get ice cream tonight?" Okay, well, that's not what happened at all. But what she actually said was, "Hi, my name is Cassidy. This guy's intense. I hope the rest of the teachers know how to take a chill pill." Me too, yeah, I responded. As I turned back around, I thought to myself, nice, Scotty. You nailed that one. No way she can resist you now. A bit discouraged by my stumbling, bumbling first impression on Cassidy, I moped to the locker number I had been given to move in. Frustrated with my stupid lock, I got upset and threw it on the ground in a desperate, flustered attempt to get it open. As I bent over to pick it up, a pair of shoes appeared in front of me. Standing up, I saw Cassidy standing in front of me. "I guess we're locker neighbors." Really? That's awesome. Well, like a good neighbor, I'm always here. Wow, that was a terrible joke, I thought to myself. To my great surprise, Cassidy was laughing. Well, must have done something right.
Just then, the bell for first block rang, and I scampered off to my first period class. I had always hated band in junior high, but I didn't have the heart to tell my parents no, so here I was, first chair alto saxophonist. I'd also like to note that I was only first chair because there were no other alto saxophonists in the band. In fact, the entire band consisted of about 9 people. What's more, I had been told that the band instructor was crazy. "Everybody sit down now, just sit down, sit down now," scattered Mr. Patty. Looking around, it was pretty apparent to me that our whole 9-person army was sitting and quiet. "Everyone play an E-flat scale, now!" Stuffing a saxophone in one side of his mouth and a clarinet in the other, Mr. Patty commenced, attempting to play his scales on his 2 different instruments at once. Squeaking, squawking, and shrieking gracefully through each scale, Mr. Patty faithfully attempted conducting, playing 2 instruments, and yelling at students who were off-key all at once. It was at this point I realized the chatter was true. After an interesting band practice, the second bell rang, and it was off to my second block class. Next was religion with Dr. Banis. I was excited. I had always done very well in religion in junior high. As I entered the classroom, I chose a seat with confidence. As Dr. Banis approached her podium, she opened her mouth, and out an ear-shattering, "Open your Bibles, and we will begin with prayer." Whoa. Never before had I heard such an alarming voice. You know that old expression about voices that sound like nails on a chalkboard? Well, Dr. Banis's picture is in the Urban Dictionary next to that expression. No matter. I was still confident I would have plenty of opportunities to show my stuff in her classroom. After an hour and a half of being talked at in her gristly voice, I realized this class did not require participation, and we would simply be screeched at for the remainder of the year. Once again, no mind. Lunch was next, and lunch was always my favorite time of the day. After an awkward first lunch, scrambling to find a table to eat at, and making uncomfortable small talk with my table mates, it was off to gym with Coach Fallara. Expecting another gym teacher who isn't very fit themselves and doesn't really care what you do, I was rather taken back when Coach Fallara looked like he could have been a bodybuilder. That was fitting, I suppose, seeing as, well, he was in fact a bodybuilder. Frightened, I walked slowly into the gym to meet my doom. "Drop and give me 20, boomed Fallara. Nice to meet you too, I thought to myself as I began embracing the gym floor in proper cheating push-up form. This floor embrace was one I came to know fondly as I dropped to it after seemingly endless sets of push-ups. Then came that moment that everyone dreads. After pushing us all around the gym for about 2 hours, Fallara shouted that it was shower time. No one particularly wanting to shower, we all opted to simply get dressed and shower at home later, since it was the last period of the day. We were sorely mistaken for thinking this would fly. "Oh, so you think you can smell in my house? Good joke. Everyone in the showers now." Coach Fallara then proceeded to pull a folding chair into the locker room and made each of us show him that our hair was wet so we knew we had showered. It was going to be a long semester. As the day came to a close, we all stumbled back to our lockers like lost cattle. Saying my goodbyes to my new locker mates, I slung my backpack over my shoulder and walked out those same gargantuan doors I had walked through earlier that morning. After a never-ending barrage of pictures, I hopped into the back seat of the car, feeling hopeful. Looking back on my day, I knew I had encountered a lot of firsts and stressful moments. Sure, I had some awkward run-ins and got lost a couple of times, but this was the next step in my life. This was the next big scene, and I was excited to see what it brought. Heck, I had even met a really cute girl on the first day. I was terrified for this whole high school thing not 8 hours ago. You know what, though? Maybe it wouldn't be so bad after all. Maybe this whole high school thing would be the best 4 years of my life.